Yes.
Trigonometric sketches are actually non-graphical interface. You're not supposed to use a graph paper. This is the sketch of sine x. The graph goes up, graph comes down. This is a pure calculator check. You can check what is sine 90, what is sine 180. The period is the concept of one cycle. One cycle is 360 degree. Now you have to note the next concept for today. The sketch can be extended backward also. It will go behind in the same pattern. I have extended the graph, and the domain, which is range on x-axis, is minus 360 to 360. Have you copied this sketch?
Yes, I'm just writing down the details. Range x. All right, done. Done, sir.
Now look at this screen, and the graph is extended backward in the same shape.
Yes.
Now you have to copy this.
Done.
Now, domain in this chapter means values of x, which is on x-axis. Range in our A-level maths means values of y. You have to copy this explanatory point, that what is the meaning of domain and range in our course.
Domain is value of x and range is value of y. Done.
So we move forward, and now this is the sketch of cos x, which you were mentioning. Now, can you check your calculator and see what is cos 0? Type in cos 0 and see what answer you get.
I get 1.
Good. And see on the graph,
Yeah.
it's 1. Okay, now look here. Type in sine 0.
It's 0.
Good. This is a simple way to understand how these graphs are working. A graph is actually a numerical translation. You have to copy now this screen.
All right, then.
Period is 360. Domain is 0 till 360. Now, look at this graph. It has been extended backward, and now the domain has been doubled. You have to copy this screen, and I'm just coming. Copy this screen. I'm just coming in a minute. Period of sine theta and cos theta is the same, 360 degree or 2 pi radian. Period is the angle corresponding to period is the angle corresponding to one
complete cycle.
Cycle. You have to copy this screen.
Then
now remember one thing, that in our maths, angle can be measured in two important units. One is called degree and second is called radian. So in our course in maths A level, angle can be measured in two fundamental units. One is called degree and the other is called radian. If you compare them, 180
degree is equals to 1 pi
is equal to pi radian. So you have to copy this screen.
Then
so there are two ways, there are two methods to measure the angle. And when you are working on any angle, you have to remember that you can convert the function in any other form, but ideally you have to keep your calculator always in degree mode. Normally, when people are working in P1, their calculator should be in degree mode. And if they want to change it, suppose in a chapter, they must remember to come back in the same mode. I mean, after completing the question, you have to come back in the normal mode, the degree mode. So right under it, by default, calculator should be in degree mode.
done.
So by default, a calculator should be in degree mode. And there are two possible ways which admins people always use, that either you convert your mode and you keep on memorizing that you have to get back, or second method is there, do not change the mode, always change the angle. So there are two possible ways. One is to change the mode, keep on changing and keep on remembering. Second, do not interfere with calculator. Just remember that you have to use the angle. So change angle into degree. So by default, the calculator should be in degree mode. Now,
okay.
tan theta is the most tricky sketch in our trigonometric sketches. This is tan theta. The vertical lines, the yellow dotted lines, are called the supporting grid lines. Normally in the actual paper, I have shared with you the file from that Papa Cambridge. That file contains actual question, how actual question look like, with a dotted space for working, some questions and question marking. you will have a clear idea that how questions appear in the paper form. Now, tan theta is a grid requirement because tan theta sketch is very complicated. Now you have to copy this screen.
Can you tell me again what these yellow lines are?
These are the grid lines.
Okay. But why do we need them?
You will get it once you copy it, and then we go for the next step.
Done.
Now look at this screen. The vertical lines are in between. These are the curves. You need to very carefully see that the blue lines are not touching some of the yellow lines. These are called asymptotes. I will give this name also. And I'm using a symbol for infinity. So these patches are broken patches, not continuous like sine and cos. You have to update the same screen.
Did you, in range, did you write minus infinity?
Yes. Plus infinity and minus infinity.
So do these lines of tangent go in circular motion?
No. Circular motion is a simple topic which is actually coming from O-level mensuration.
No, I'm trying to understand how does tan goes into infinity, and what shape does it take?
Again, do not make any research. Make a simple English word. What is infinity?
Endless.
Endless. So this graph will keep on going up. Simple. This graph will keep on going up. So if you look at this graph, this position, I make an arrow. This patch will be keep on going up. I put another arrow. Look at the arrow. This line will be going down for infinity. So always make things simple. And again, I will be repeating that this is a patch up. This is a patch up that you have to remember that this is like this. Now it's a 180-degree duration in which one piece of sketch is there. And these lines which a graph does not touch, the lines which a graph does not touch are called asymptote. You have to update the same screen.
Sir, can you complete the last graph?
Last graph? Which graph?
This 361. It's half, right?
Because we have to stop at 360. Look at the dome. What is the domain? What is the domain?
360.
So we have to stop at 360. If examiner says go till 720, then I will extend the line. It will be a pattern repetition. This graph is a repeating function.
Okay.
Now, this is a much bigger grid, and every trigonometric function can be extended in a negative range, 0 till 360, and in the backward 0 till minus 360. You have to now copy this grid neatly.
Done.
So now remember that the main thing is the sketch range. Some values too should be learned because in the paper it will be a time factor for 10 because calculators give a syntax error or ma error when you type in 1090. I would like you to please check it. Type in your calculator 1090. We did it in our 2 classes back also.
Yeah, it's maths error.
So it's math error, okay? So it means that in actual word, it will be a concept of infinity. You have to copy this set of values.
But do we need to know the values for tan, 30, 69, 45?
No, we do, if we need it, obviously we can get it from the calculator. I have given those values. I have given those values which are important, which you should learn.
Done.
Now, let's point out this that period of 1030 is 180. Remember, the period of sine theta is 360. The period of cos theta is also 360. But the period of tan theta is 180. Now, look at these graphs. And I have shown the waves which are starting from minus 360 to 360. Make it clear again, which I will show by an arrow, that this blue line is not touching the dotted line. You have to
Yes.
copy this.
Done. Done, sir.
Now, give a heading, transformation. Give this heading, transformation.
Sir, why? I need to ask you one thing.
You please go ahead, quickly ask.
Why is tan negative in 135?
So calculator, take the calculator and check.
Okay, I get it. It's in the second quadrant, right?
No, that's a rule, obviously, but actually the main thing is the numerical value. The main thing is the numerical value. That's a simple thing. So you have to
Okay.
remember it. It's the second quadrant. That's right. Now, in transformations, I'm starting with transformations. Transformation is a tricky part in this topic of trigonometric sketches. And I'm first putting the amplitude. This concept is coming from physics, actually. Amplitude is the height of a graph. Amplitude is the height of a graph. So when you draw a graph, the height of the graph is called amplitude.
Amplitude.
You have to remember that amplitude is the height of the graph. You have to copy this screen.
Done.
Amplitude is the height of a sketch. So in this sketch, examiner can ask you to find the amplitude. So amplitude is small a, and you will say the amplitude is 2 from the graph. When sine theta and cos theta are drawn, their maximum value is 1 and their minimum value is -1. You can look at the sine cos sketches. Their maximum value where they go up is 1 and their minimum value is -1. You have to copy this.
Done.
Now, this is my first example in this category, and examples should be done in the notes register. When we come to questions like suppose we do past paper questions or any worksheet we do, then you should shift to a particular questions like a register which contain questions separately. So look at this example question, and this is basically y is equal to 2 sine x. You first see that how I have shown the amplitude. I have shown it from the equation. Now, whenever you are dealing with a trigonometric function, you have to remember that the maximum value is 1. So in place of sine x, you will put 1. That will be the maximum value. Then for minimum value, you have to put -1. So you will get -2. So you have to replace 1 and 2 in these sketches to find the maximum and minimum value. Every sketch in trigonometry, sine and cos, have a maximum value and have a minimum value. You have to copy this screen.
Every sketch has a maximum and a minimum. Okay, sure. Yeah, done.
So whenever you want to do a maximum value or a minimum value, you will first put 1, and now look at this arrow with this X. Look at this position X, and with this X, if you look here, this X has no number. It means it is 1. When it is one cycle, it means there is a range of 360. So within 360, there is only one cycle. Within 360, there is only one cycle. Then you draw the sketch. Look at the shape of the sketch. The graph goes up by 2 and graph comes down by -2. In the paper, he will be asking you to draw sketches without graph paper. So I will be telling you separately minimum, maximum, amplitude, and you have to practice with neat neat lines. So after copying this, note the last line. Y is equal to 2 sin x. It means it has one cycle in the domain of 360. Now you have to copy this screen.
Then
Now, when you draw a sketch, you have to make it very, very, very neat. You have to make a very, very neat. When you draw a sketch, you remember that you curve like this. Okay, if you make a non-symmetrical curve like this, they will cancel the marks. It would be ideal that after the class, please share with me your drawn sketches. So if there is any mistake, I can tell you. They're quite sensitive. Actually, they're oversensitive. They're oversensitive with the sketches.
okay, okay, I'll just need them because at the moment I'm not really big since I have to copy down notes fast.
After the class, draw them neatly with a pencil and ruler, and then share with me.
Okay.
We'll fix it, no problem. You, our question, no need to copy this question. Fx is equal to 3 sin x. Maximum value is 3 into 1. Minimum value is 3 minus 3. Now it's a sine function. You remember the sine curve. So you will draw, look the graph, it's going up till 3 and coming down till -3. Now look at this. Y is equal to 2 cos x. So for maximum, you put 1. For minimum, you put -1. There is no number with x. So it means it is 1. So one cycle in 360 degree. So when you draw, it looks like a necklace shape. It starts from 2 and it goes down -2. Now give a new heading. Change in period.
I just need to draw for the cost one. Give me 2 seconds.
Because obviously you can't draw everything from here, because if you get one sketch and that is good, so you can make it as a memory, and other sketches obviously will be covered when you start past paper questions. This is the third topic of trigonometry. We are doing today the trigonometric sketches. Y is equal to sine 2x. Look at this arrow. The 2 written with x means 2 cycles in 360 degree. What 2 means here? 2 cycles in 360 degree. You have to copy this screen now.
Done.
It is necessary that all sketches are bound within the given domain. It's a very important thing to understand that examiners give a domain. So when you draw a sketch, when you're going to draw a sketch, you must have to see the domain, the examiner allocated range. I've given some examples: sine 2x with 0 till pi, sine 2x, 0 till pi, and sine 2x with normal 360 range. So when it is sine 2x, 0 till pi by 2, you can draw only half cycle, because 2x means 2 cycles in 360. When there are 2 cycles in 360, within 90, there would be only half cycle. A very important concept, you have to copy this. Have you copied it?
Yeah.
So you please tell me now, once you've copied. Y is equal
Sir,
to,
I just want to see how if you can draw on the graph that where is the half?
half means half cycle. Can you count how many cycles are there?
Not in this graph.
No,
In
how many cycles are there? The main thing is rule. This is one cycle, this is the second cycle, and this is the third cycle. This is how you count the cycles. And once you count the cycle, you can draw 2 cycles, you can draw half cycle, you can draw 3.5 cycle. So remember that. Now this is y is equal to sine 3x. It means you have to draw 3 cycles in 360. When examiner says limit to 120, it will be 1 cycle. If examiner says limit to 240, it will be 2 cycles, and so on. You can continue in the same way. Now you have to copy this question.
Can they increase the limit? Can they increase the domain?
Again, I repeat third time. This is the examiner which tells you the domain and you have to follow that domain. Examiner will tell you that your graph has to be 0 till 360, 0 till 90, 0 till 270. So this is the examiner requirement. Let me know once you have copied it.
Done.
So there are 3 cycles. There are 3 cycles in 360. Examiners can change the domain. Presently, the period is 120. Can you tell me why period is 120? What is period? Period means the angle corresponding to 1 cycle. So can you please repeat what is a period? What is period? Period is the angle for 1 cycle. Okay, now repeat what is period? Can you listen to me?